You let me know when you guys are good, and we're gonna like slowly dive into the conversation here.
Let's go.
Yep.
Not too loud?
Nope.
All right.
That's cool. That's cool. That's cool. Oh man. But first, before we dive into the conversation today, I have to say I'm sorry. I have to apologize for the people in the room today. At 2 o'clock, I get a text message from Timmy Turflinger, and this is what the text message says. You ready for this? You coming to the church? I'm sorry, that was at 2:04. I totally, I totally forgot that we were recording today. No, I hope that you accept my apology, but sorry, Timmy, you were setting up cameras, and I was knee deep in an edit, and I was just lost in that. You know, when you went in a creative element, when you get into your groove, your flow, you don't want to step out of it. And I just didn't even think about this today. So, but Cory Rupley, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. It's awesome to be here.
Yeah, we're glad you're here, man.
Thank you.
You look familiar.
Yep.
Yeah, you have a familiar face. You have a familiar face. Anybody ever tell you that before?
Yeah, so back in my college days, I was a bouncer at a B-Dubs.
Yeah,
and
that's
one guy
where,
told me.
That's where I seen you from.
One guy, he's like, "Man, you look like Kevin James," and I'm like, "Yeah, I don't see it."
Yeah, I don't know. You look like your dad.
It's questionable.
I see your dad, bro.
But I don't have the nose.
You don't?
I don't have the nose. It's been broken like 6 times.
Look for it again. Yeah. Okay. Maybe you don't.
Yeah, I definitely have a face for radio.
Face for radio. Yeah. So you belong to the beloved Jack and Kathy Rupley.
I do. I was the middle one.
I was waiting for an applause there, but we didn't get it. There. No, that's not it either. Let's go. Jack and Kathy. Jack and Kathy. Oh my gosh. I have come to love them dearly. When we first moved here 5 years ago, I remember seeing Jack. He didn't know who I was. No one knew who we were. We were new to the town. I remember getting like the stank eye from Jack because, he's trying to figure me out a little bit, making sure the school's safe. But I'm like, I'm good, you know. But I love Jack and Kathy. Wonderful people.
Awesome people.
That's your mom and dad.
Yep.
Wow, and you're the middle one.
I am, yeah. I've got an older brother, Keith, lives up in Fort Wayne. He's married. He's got 2 boys. And my younger brother, Clint, lives down by Houston, Texas.
Yeah, he's a Texas guy now.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's got 2 boys and a girl. And then I'm married, live in Rochester. We got 2 girls.
But you were local. You used to live here.
I grew up here.
You grew up here.
Then I went to college right after high school and then came back. Once I graduated, lived with mom and dad for a couple years.
Yeah.
So, of course, my wife still pokes me with that comment.
Does you? Yeah. So you came back and you live with mom and dad. Were you living in the basement?
I was not living in the basement.
Oh, okay.
But mom did my laundry.
Did she?
Made my bed.
Of course she did.
Yeah.
She probably volunteered to do it too. It's like, I'll get it for you.
That was just.
That's the way she is. That's the way she is.
Yep.
She's such a wonderful, wonderful lady.
Yep.
So you're married.
Yep.
How long you been married?
12 years. Yeah, it'll be 13 here in July.
Congratulations.
Yep. Thank you.
Well, what's her name?
Amy.
Do anybody know Amy in this room? Anybody? You all know Amy?
She was born and raised in Ohio, moved to Manchester when she was like 6th grade.
Okay.
And then so her parents still live here.
Okay, cool.
So yeah.
Cool. And now you live in Rochester.
Yep.
And I heard that you a lake boy. You the one of them rich lake boys. You live on the lake. You live on the lake. That's what these guys were saying.
I live across the street, but part of our property, we have access. So we have a pier and a boat and stuff, but we don't live on the water.
I mean, you got a pier. Like, that's a pretty big deal. And you have a boat.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, like, do you like living on, like, lake? Is it Lake Manitou?
Yep.
You like it?
Love it.
Yeah.
It's so when we first moved there, we lived in a little duplex, bought a house that was about to go into foreclosure, fixer upper, had lake access, and I'm like, look, if we're staying at Rochester, like we got to be on the lake.
Yeah.
Something to do.
Yeah.
But it's awesome. I mean, we can go out on the lake during the week and there's nobody out there.
Yeah.
So we have the whole place to ourselves.
Is there like speed limits on that lake?
Nope. Well, just like before dusk, after dusk. I got pulled over once.
By who?
The DNR.
Oh, okay.
Because I was going too fast at dusk.
Okay.
I was trying to, so guy I know who happens to be my father-in-law was having a boat issue. So I went and got in our boat and was driving too fast to go help him before it got dark.
Do like radars work the same for boats and cars? Like it's the same?
I don't know if he had a radar, but it's like basically like 5 miles an hour at dusk.
Oh, okay.
So I was.
Boat,
going
I'm not a boat guy, lake guy. Like boats have speed, like speedometers and stuff on them. So okay,
Yep.
cool. Is it like miles per hour or is it different? Okay.
Yep.
I don't know why it wouldn't be. Just funny.
And it feels a lot faster than a car.
Does it?
Yeah.
I bet, man. So you live in Rochester and you have how many children?
2 daughters.
2 daughters. See, the thing about me doing this podcast, and Nick reminded me today, was like, I don't know anybody in town. Like, so this is actually genuine. I have no idea who you are. Everybody's like screaming, yeah, I know this guy. I
Yeah.
have no idea who you are.
Yep.
So you have some kiddos. What were their names?
Maddie and Claire.
Hi, what's
so
up,
Maddie's 10, Claire's 8. So 3rd and 4th graders.
Those are fun years.
Yeah.
3rd grade kind of sucks though because it's testing, but yeah.
Yeah. The testing they do in schools now is so weird to me.
Yeah.
It's like my oldest daughter somehow got picked to do some random test of a bunch of kids throughout the U.S. It's just random.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So,
Okay. That's kind of weird.
Yeah.
That's kind of weird. Okay.
So I don't know if they're just checking data. I have no clue.
So now you're a zebra. So you're a trader now. You no longer a squire. Do you go to like zebra football games? And
Yep.
okay.
I go to zebra football games, basketball games occasionally.
How does Jack feel about this?
I didn't say much.
He doesn't?
Yeah. Anytime the girls, crickets, right? Anytime the girls have soccer games, swim meets, basketball stuff,
Yeah.
and they can make it. They always come
Yeah.
and support. And so it was weird, because I hated Rochester growing up. Hated it. But here we are now, and I live there. And
I know, right?
Yeah.
It's different. We're going to have to make this episode really, really light, too, because the first 2 episodes of season 2 have been super, like, heavy and stuff. So, like, let's just make it light. So, what's the funnest thing about being the father for you
the
now?
funnest,
Yeah, the most fun thing. Is funnest a word? Funnest? Most fun?
most fun, probably.
More fun?
So every Wednesday we have late start,
Okay.
and I know Tim's a huge fan.
No, don't even get me started.
Tim,
He made a post the other day. I was like, oh, that's cute.
I about made another one today on,
Yeah,
So-
let's just say don't be surprised when I have a stroke in the high school drop-off line in the morning.
Tim, you're gonna get in Facebook jail.
I don't care.
Come
But
on.
so the budding metropolis of Rochester, we have a Starbucks. So every Wednesday, my girls and we go to Starbucks for late start.
Really?
Yep. So we go there, they get frappuccinos, I get a coffee, and just one thing that we do every week.
That's cool, though.
Yeah.
I was trying to think, I haven't been to Rochester in a minute. Is it out there by
31,
like
25.
by Walmart and stuff?
Yep. Right in front of
Walmarts?
Walmart.
Okay. How does Rochester have a Starbucks?
We actually have 2 Starbucks. There's one in Kroger.
Where's Kroger?
Kroger's like right across the highway from Walmart.
I'm trying to think where all these places. I haven't been there in a long time.
Yeah. So we have 2 Subways and 2 Starbucks.
Dang, y'all are booming. Where do people work at in Rochester?
I don't know.
Do you work in Rochester?
No,
Where
I
do you-
work for a company out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Oh, dang, you were virtual.
Yep.
Okay. Well, what do you do?
I'm a territory manager for a baseball bat company.
What does that mean?
So I cover 5 states. So I go to Indiana, Michigan, Kentucky, Ohio, West Virginia.
Okay.
And I call on like sporting goods dealers. And they'll, they sell anything from bats, fielding gloves, helmets, bags, wood
Okay.
bats. So our company, we have over half the MLB players that use our wood bats.
Do you have a name? Can you?
The parent company is called Marucci.
Okay.
We own a company called Victus.
Okay.
We own yeah.
Sorry, I'm not a big baseball
Sorry.
guy. I'm sorry.
We also own a bat grip company called Lizard Skins.
Okay.
And then we bought a company less than a year ago called Bomb Bat. They make like composite wood.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
How did you get into that?
So I played college football,
Okay.
and one of the first jobs I had when I graduated, I worked for a football equipment company. So I called on like the Colts, the Bengals, the Browns, the Lions, Michigan, Notre Dame, Ohio
Let's
State.
go.
So, and I think the main reason I got the job is being able to, obviously you played the sport and you
Yeah.
can talk the lingo.
Sure.
You got to be able to talk to anybody.
Yep.
So I did that for almost 5 years. So I've got cool memorabilia.
I bet.
I've met a ton of cool people.
Who's the coolest person you've met? Besides me today, who's in your?
Probably Peyton Manning.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I had a beer with their family once.
Okay.
So
Where'd you meet? Did you meet him in Indy or?
No, I actually met him down in Louisiana. So they have a passing academy. So football camp. So the company I worked for, we were a sponsor. And so me and another guy would go down there and set up a table, talk to parents, kids, show them helmets. And as sponsors, we stayed like on the campus at Nichols State.
Okay.
So my roommate one year was Mike Mayock.
Okay. I don't know who that is. Sorry.
So he used to be a commentator for Notre Dame. He was the Raiders general manager.
Dang, wow, you're a star, dude. Wow.
And a guy named Brad Banta, who at one point was the special teams coach for the Lions.
Okay.
So yeah, like every night they would have sponsor dinners.
Wow.
So one night we go, it was like some kind of bar and grill, and we walk in. So there's me and my coworker, Peyton Manning, Eli Manning, Archie Manning, Cooper Manning, and Jesse Palmer.
You just throwing these names out like you know everybody. Okay, look at this guy.
So
okay.
yeah, that was really cool. I mean,
that's so cool.
And obviously they're working,
yeah,
so you can't like ask for selfies, don't ask for autographs. Like they're working. They just want to be everyday people.
Sure.
You know.
But do you have autographs of people like that?
I do. I've got a lot.
Do you really?
I do. I've got.
Come on, give it to us. People want to know what autographs you got.
So I've got a Tennessee flag, volunteer signed by Peyton Manning. I've got an Eli Manning signed Giants helmet. I've got a Chargers helmet signed by Ryan Leaf.
Okay.
I've got a Von Miller signed Texas A&M helmet, a Case Keenum helmet, Derek Brooks.
Dang.
So I ran into Anthony Costanzo that used to play for the Colts.
Yeah.
I ran into him in a Vegas casino. And there was like stuff he wouldn't sign a dollar bill. He wouldn't sign like anything related to a casino.
Okay.
Which was kind of interesting.
Wow. Dude.
Because gambling and all that stuff. I got a bat signed by Trevor Hoffman, a bat signed by Mark Pryor.
So do you have like a room that you put all this stuff in?
In my office, I've got like a tower that's glass that has helmets.
Now I know why he lives on the lake, y'all.
Yeah. I actually have an Ohio State jersey signed by Maurice Claret.
Okay. Whoa, hey, all right.
Easy, Tim.
You're getting excited back here.
Gosh, I've got some other.
Tim's like, all right.
Yeah, are all these names Rochester people?
Not at all.
I don't think they're not from Rochester.
Have you ever seen the movie Invincible?
Yes.
With Mark Wahlberg?
Yeah.
So I met the guy that's about.
Okay.
Vince Papale.
Papale.
Yep.
Yeah.
So another perk of that job working for the football equipment company was we sponsored the U.S. Army All-American Bowl.
That's
so it's
cool.
that big high school all-star game. So there's all kinds of players. And like he was there one year and got to know him. He sent me like an Eagles helmet, a DVD signed.
Dang.
All that kind of stuff.
Dang, your dad must be so proud of you.
Yeah. I got a bunch of autographs.
I bet. I mean, that's pretty cool though.
Yeah.
That's pretty neat, man. Wow. I bought it though. It was a Joe Montana jersey that was like signed, but like, yeah, that's the only thing I have.
But yeah, I've met, like, I got to fit Jeff Saturday in shoulder pads, Carson Palmer in a helmet. I mean, because like,
did you guys know this about him?
You know, like when you go, so like when you go to like talk to these people about helmets and shoulder pads, you know, the players are at practice, they're coming in, they're, you know, but they're at work, like they don't want to be bothered. So you got to treat them just like everyday people. So there was one time I was at Ohio State, Jim Tressel came in, was talking to us, Terrell Pryor walked in, and one time I saw Tim Tebow in person.
Okay.
And that was just like,
were you starstruck?
I was starstruck.
Yeah.
And then one time Terrell Pryor came in when he was at Ohio State in a cutoff, and I was like, man, that dude is jacked.
Yeah.
And he's a quarterback.
Sure.
Like, and that's what a lot of people, you know, you don't realize like how big and how put together these guys really are.
Yeah.
And then you see them in a cutoff and it's like, whoa.
Okay. That's why you're in the NFL and I'm not. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I got it.
Yes.
So like, do you go to games then too? Like, are you able to go?
I mean, I never really took advantage. You know, a lot of people are always like, hey, if you ever want tickets to a game, just let us know. And I never really did.
Okay.
I did have to tell. So one of the guys that was in my wedding, he was from Michigan. And for his best man gift, I had it lined up that he was going to get a Lions helmet signed by Ndamukong Suh, Matthew Stafford, and Calvin Johnson.
Okay.
But then they went on strike
that
summer. So I was like, sorry, dude, here's a couple Michigan t-shirts.
Yeah, that sucks.
My bad.
That sucks.
But yeah, it was pretty cool. It was interesting.
That's really cool. Okay, let's stop right there. You ever had a ghost?
I never have.
What, do you drink any of your drinks?
I do not.
Do you drink coffee?
I drink coffee, yeah.
What do you put in your coffee? Are you like in the morning coffee guy?
Splenda and a little bit of creamer.
What kind of creamer? It matters.
Yeah, like sugar-free, whatever.
Oh, you're a sugar-free guy?
For the most part.
Okay.
I try to.
Well, I think we're going to talk about that here in a second.
We are.
Let's do it. Let's grab our ghost here today. Cory Rupley. Let's give him the 1, 2, 3 crack. It's not quite that bubbly today.
Should we cheers?
We do cheers. Yeah, absolutely. Have you? So you never had one? Cherry limeade is the best.
I like cherry limeade.
It's the
I'm a
best.
Cherry limeade fan.
It's the best. It's the best. 1, 2, 3. Let's go.
Very solid. Very solid.
Doesn't that just make your day better? It's like getting up and praying in the morning. It just makes your day better. That's just good.
It's a solid drink right there.
And it would be better if it was cold, but I wasn't here early enough to set them out. But Timmy, thank you for doing what you did today. Can we get a round of applause for Timmy today? He's just doing a great job.
I don't recommend the sweaty fish here.
It's Swedish. There's a D. Swedish.
Oh,
Fish.
sweaty.
You don't like it,
Sweat? No.
bro? It's so good. That's like my number 2.
Please tell me you eat Swedish fish candy.
No.
Swedish fish candy is amazing, right? While we're talking about candies, anybody ever heard of sour strips?
Yep.
So I follow him, Max Tuning off of Instagram, TikTok. He's the creator of the sour strips, but he also collabed with Ghost, and they have sour strips is amazing though. It's really really good stuff. But these are like the same genre, same people. They're YouTube people who created their own energy drink, food, whatever. So it's pretty cool. But that's fantastic. I can't believe you don't like Swedish fish.
No.
Guys, if you've had a Ghost energy drink, let us know in the comments what's your favorite. Obviously, mine's just
Orange dreamsicle.
I enjoy it, but it's not the best, right?
Yeah, it is.
Anyways, I digress. So you're like a sugar-free guy.
Yep. For the most part.
Somebody shared with me like you've lost some weight or something.
Yes.
Big part of your journey was
Yep.
weight or something.
So I played football in college.
Where'd you go to college?
I went to Anderson.
Okay.
Huge rivals with Manchester, obviously. It was kind of weird. So I'm not sure what year Manchester High School completed their football stadium, but when I was in high school, we played at the college.
Yeah.
So, fun fact, my last high school game and my last college game were at Manchester on the same field.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
so, so I went to Anderson, played football, and partway through, and my younger brother and I played together at Anderson. We
Okay.
were 1 year apart. So my brother catches a pass. He was like a tight end / receiver, catches a pass, gets tackled at the 2. He's laying there like grabbing his leg. And of course I'm like, get up. And, they take him off the field. We do a quarterback sneak on the next play, score a touchdown. I tear my ACL on the extra point. He had torn his
Oh wow.
on
That's
2
so
plays
weird.
before that.
That's
Yeah.
so
So we
weird.
both tore our ACLs in the same football game.
Wow. What year was that?
2003.
2003.
Yeah, I was a senior, and with it being the 5th game of the season, I could not medical redshirt. I was done.
Okay.
I had played in too many games.
Sure.
If it happens the week before, I can take a medical redshirt, play the next year.
Dang.
So my football career ends on a torn ACL on an extra point.
That sucks.
Yeah,
That sucks real bad.
yeah,
Sorry about that.
happens. Part of life, right?
It is.
You
Yeah.
gotta deal with it.
I'm thankful. I've never really torn anything like that. Should we knock on wood or something? I don't know what people do, but
Yeah, it was bad. It was the worst pain I've ever felt in my life.
really.
Yeah. So a lot, and I don't know if you watch a lot of football on TV, but you see
as much as I used to.
the big linemen that wear the knee braces.
Yeah.
So mine broke, right? You know how your knee bends like this? Mine went like that.
Okay. Not supposed to do that.
No. So my knee brace broke, and I literally thought my leg was stuck out to the side. I mean, you can hear screaming on the video.
Oh.
Yeah. It was
Maybe if I can find the footage, I'll put it up on. I don't know if I can find it.
probably
but
on VHS tape somewhere.
Let's go. It
So-
was 2003. I think there was DVDs then.
There was. Yeah, so that's how my career ended. And then, we both have surgery the same day. Then we start going through like rehab and therapy. And then I'm just like, you know what? Like I've lifted and worked out for so long through high school, college. I'm like, I need a break. Right. Well, then all of a sudden you take a break.
Yeah.
And then you get so far out of shape, you don't know how to get back into shape. And I'm 6 feet tall. Back then I probably weighed like 275.
Okay.
And, you think like, I haven't stepped on the scale for a while. And you step on, you're like, whoa. And then it's like, I'll just stay off the scales.
Yeah.
And then you think like, my pants are getting a little tighter. My shirt gets a little smaller, but, it's the way they make clothes these days. It's all the tapered
It
and
is. It's the dryer.
skinny fit and all that kind of stuff.
Which Nick's actually wearing a pair of skinny jeans today. Those are cute.
It's all right.
He's actually not, but anyways. Sorry.
Yeah, so for a couple years that went on, And I never really stepped on the scale at my heaviest, but I guess I was probably 350
Oh wow.
at my heaviest.
Okay.
And I've got pictures on my phone, and I'll show you or whatever. But
Yeah, show us.
Yeah.
Can you pull them out there? We can do your thing, guy. do whatever it is you do, Timmy. Let's see this. Yeah, just hold it up there. Find us 350 pounds. Let's just see here. There we go. He's going to hold up to that one. That's a great one. I want to see it. I'm sorry. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So, and then here's another one.
Bro, holy cow. Wow. And I don't mean that in a mean way. I hope you don't get that.
Yeah,
I'm not trying to be mean.
Yeah, it was wild. So,
how old are you in that picture, you think?
oh, I was probably late 20s. Probably 20. I'm 42 now. I was probably 28.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're getting better with age.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go.
I mean, I have a feeling I'm going to be like Jack, and then like all of a sudden, like aging is just going to hit me one day.
Is that what happened with your daddy?
I think so. Because for the longest time, it was like he never aged, and then it was all of a sudden like.
He looks good though for his age. How old is your daddy?
What is he? 67? I think he just turned 60.
Dang, I mean he's in great shape.
Yeah,
I mean I know he's had
basketball.
some. Yeah. Right. Wow. Okay, you got some good genes then.
Yep. So I mean, my weight stayed like that for a long time.
How long you think?
10 years.
At the 350?
Probably right around in there.
No kidding.
Yep.
Wow.
So
Is that because you had like crappy eating or?
yeah, I mean, the crappy eating, I didn't do anything. Like I traveled with work some, and it just, like again, you get so big, and as like high school, when you start getting into shape, like you stay fairly consistent working out and this and that.
It's
So
easy.
then, so once you get into shape, you're like, okay, I can just maintain, get stronger.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. But then once you get so far out of shape, like you don't know where to go. Like you don't know where to start all over again.
Yeah. Okay. So here you got. I mean, so I've never really struggled with weight.
Yeah.
I've never really struggled with it. So like at 350 pounds, how does somebody get to 350? What does that take to get to 350 pounds?
Eating a ton and not burning any calories.
What's that? What'd you say? Is it a slow fade? So,
Yeah.
I mean, 10 years at 350 pounds, I'm thinking do you eat more than like 3 times a day? Or is it like you're just.
Oh, it's all, you're eating all the time.
Oh, okay. You're eating all the time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Crazy amounts of food. So when I had graduated in 05 from college, I moved back home. Then I was helping coach football at the high school for a couple years. I helped coach at the college a couple years. Lived with my parents. I would travel some with work.
Yeah.
And, I remember it like at the college, it was like after a football game on a Saturday, we're, getting stuff around and kind of getting film and stuff ready. And then I would leave and like go to the timeout and get like a sandwich and like pizza fries and like go home and just sit and watch college football and eat. That's what I would do,
Okay.
Okay.
So like, did you become, you were addicted to food? Was it emotional eating? What was the premise for the eating, you think?
I don't know. It wasn't really like stress or anything like that. I think I just I enjoy food.
Yeah.
And I think part of it is like, when you're an athlete, you think like, well, I can eat all this because I'm going to burn it all off in a game or a practice. Yeah. So it's like you think like, okay, if I eat 5,000 calories a day, I might burn it between practice, lifting, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So you still think that way. And you think like, well, if my stomach is not full and I eat this much, I need to eat a little bit, eat a little bit more maybe to be fulfilled, I guess.
Wow. Okay. I guess I try to. I just don't know what that's like. I mean, I'm not in the best shape either. I get that. I'm 218 pounds. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I eat like crap. Basically, I run a lot, but I eat like crap. Work out, but I eat like crap.
Yep. It's hard. It's hard to eat really well.
That's what I struggle with the most. I love tacos. I love nachos. I love double stuffed Oreos. Tim eats eggs all the time. He's ridiculous.
I got 30 chickens, man. It's the only thing.
Are you like Rocky where you crack a raw egg into a cup and just
No, I don't do that.
Hey, let's do one right now on the show.
But it is nice.
Let's crack one. Let's see one.
No, it is nice to just walk out in the coop and grab a couple eggs and crack them. I mean, there's nothing better than fresh eggs.
Yeah.
But you do it every day. It kind of gets old, right?
I mean, it is what it is.
So 10 years, 350 pounds, eating whatever all the time.
Yep.
And you're not like, so like I'm a stress eater. I know when I'm stressed, like the first thing I want to do is like go eat food.
No,
Not you.
Nope, not that at all. It was just eat whatever.
Just like food. What's your favorite thing to eat? Then versus now?
I mean, same kind of thing. Pizza, burgers, tacos, steaks. I mean,
Yeah.
there's really not a whole lot I don't like.
Burgers are so good.
I got a Blackstone. You ever have those smash burgers on a Blackstone?
I don't have a, so you live on the lake and you have a Blackstone? Let's, this guy. This is your people, Nick. This is your
and a
people.
smoker.
Dang, I got like a charcoal. But anyways, but no, that's cool. I've never had it. Maybe we could come over and have some one day. You know?
Absolutely.
Wouldn't that be great, Corey? Mm-hmm.
Lake trip.
Yep. I even have a tiki bar in my backyard
Yeah.
on wheels.
Okay.
Yeah, so we can move it around the patio.
But you don't live on the lake.
Right.
Gotcha. Okay.
Across the street.
I'm glad we established.
Yep.
these
Not on the lake.
Yeah, I got
Across
you.
the street. Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about that a little bit more. Go a little deeper on that 350 pounds.
Yeah. I mean, I think I was wearing like a 46 pant, a 4XL shirt. So then in 2019, my wife's like, I'm going to do this Peloton stuff. So she gets some $200 spend bike on Amazon, gets the app.
Yeah.
And she just starts like doing Peloton workouts in the basement. And so we got a TV and that kind of stuff. So then I'm like, you know what? I should probably like work out. Like I need something to do. And so I started biking, started doing like, I don't know, you call it like a recumbent bike where your feet and your butt are basically parallel. And I started low carb dieting. And so I bike for 30 minutes or whatever.
Yeah.
Then I'm like, okay, if I'm just sitting here holding the handles, like I could lift while I bike. So then I'd get dumbbells. I had like a little stool next to the bike, and I would put the dumbbells there. And then it's like, okay, I'll do like 10 curls while I'm biking. And I'm like, I'll do shoulder press while I'm biking. Start doing triceps.
Okay.
So then I would do like a little circuit of lifting while I was biking, like every 10 minutes.
That's cool.
And so then I'm like, man, this is working. Like I'm losing some weight, sweating, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, we should get a treadmill. So I'm not sure who we got it. We got a used treadmill for like $100.
Yeah.
And then, so my wife's like, well, I'm going to start training for like marathons and half marathons. And I'm like, well, I guess I might as well. Like this biking's going well, but I'm starting to get into decent shape. So I have to do something else to burn more calories.
Yeah.
Right. Because then it starts to become an addiction.
Yeah, it does.
Where you like weigh yourself every day, multiple times a day, put notes in my phone. Like, here's the date. Here's what I weighed.
Yeah. So that was you. You were addicted like to that kind of stuff?
Yep.
Yeah. It is addictive.
So then, once you start seeing results, it becomes an addiction. And so then I'm like, okay, we'll start running a little bit. So I'm like, I'll walk, a minute, run a minute, walk a minute, run a minute. And that just kind of builds up. You get a little bit better shape, lose a little bit more weight. So basically over a 2-year span, I lost 101 pounds.
Wow. Good for you, bro.
Just diet and exercise.
Dang.
Yep.
That's a lot of weight.
Yeah, it was pretty eye-opening when, like, because I still have like a couple apparel items from when I was that big.
I wish you would have brought them today.
I thought about it, but
actually send me a picture. Go home, maybe take a picture, send it to me. I'll give you my number.
Okay.
I'd love to see
So
it.
for the most part, like I had to buy a whole new wardrobe. When you go, like I wear a 36 pant now. So I lose essentially, I don't know if you consider that 10 sizes or.
That's what I wear. I wear a 36.
There you go. And I got a little bit more here on the front porch, but.
See, I don't get it. Okay, let's talk about it real quick. Pant sizes. Timmy, what size do you wear?
Well, I guess I'm about a 36.
What do you mean you don't know?
Well, I do.
Okay, so what is it?
But I have to buy my pants bigger.
So you can tuck your shirts in?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Gotcha.
So I can tuck my shirts in.
I'm still trying to figure out what you're saying. But anyways, all right, see where I got 38.
I'll tell you later.
Okay. What size do you
I
wear?
do a 38, 32, but technically your waist is at your belly button, right?
I don't know.
Is that where your waist is supposed to be?
I don't.
Probably, but since
But
I got a little
I
front
don't
porch.
wear my pants at my belly button, so if
I
I
don't
wore
either.
my pants where I had to be, they would be 40, 40.
So this is why the question. So I have my mom's hips, and she knows this. I've told her this. I've been public with it. But like, if you touch my hips, it's bone. Like, so I can't go any smaller than 36.
Right.
Like, it's the craziest thing.
unless you get like grandpa jeans that have like the elastic waist. Maybe
There
you
you
get
go.
like a 34 with a little elastic
Some
in there.
suspenders.
Yep.
I don't get it. It's annoying. I'm built weird. Like I can lose weight on my love handles, but then my hips flare out. So I'm built like a box. It's crazy.
Yeah,
But
it
anyways,
happens.
but dude, that's so cool though, man.
Yeah.
101 pounds in 2 years.
2 years. It was from April of 19 to May of 21.
What's
during COVID?
Okay.
So at that time I had gotten laid off, so I wasn't working. I was doing like homeschooling stuff with daughters.
Super dad.
Yeah, man, it was. So we'd get up, let's get school knocked out. I'm a big like checklist, results oriented. Get up, make my bed every day. I saw a little speech of a guy was like a admiral or something.
Yeah, we've all seen that speech. Yeah.
So every day, make the bed every day.
Do you know, since you said making your bed, that's the first thing my wife and I do. We do it together every single day.
Yep, make the bed.
Make the bed. You guys make the bed? Anybody else make the bed?
It's the first
Yep,
positive
yep,
thing
yep.
you can get done in a day.
Yep.
Make the bed.
And I love that my wife and I do it together.
Sometimes we do. Just depends on when she gets out of it.
Anyways, all right. So
Yeah. So anyway,
What I'm saying is I'm the
whatever,
first one
sure.
up.
Yeah,
and-
yeah, we understand.
Yeah,
We understand.
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
bye.
yeah. So I lost 101 pounds in 2 years.
So what's like looking back, what was like the hardest part about just being it that way? Like emotionally, physically, spiritually, mentally? What was your world? What did it look like?
I think the biggest thing, and this is probably something Nick will be able to relate to a little bit, when you're a bigger guy, like it's one of those where like
He's a big guy.
most bigger guys are jokesters, right? Your brother, me, you. And so it's always like kind of the joke.
Okay.
Like you know, you can always make fat jokes about yourself
Okay.
because it's funny, ha ha ha. So you just kind of learn to live with it, right? Like you have to build thick skin because, you know, we all got picked on when we were in school because we were fat, whatever.
Did you get picked on?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But so then it's almost like you have to like retrain your mind, right? Like there's times where I think, I mean, I'm still like obese by, you know,
Dude,
doctor's
everybody's obese by these
Yeah.
standards.
but then like you basically have to like retrain how you think,
Yeah.
right? Like it's what, 320. I haven't eaten today.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I've got a new goal, right? So I'm hoping to be in the 2 teens again before spring break.
Let's go, bro.
Yeah. So I got about 60 days
Cool.
to lose about 20 pounds. And then what I want to do is essentially do like 1 day a week where I fast, I don't eat all day, and then get back into lifting. So I would so right now I run, like last year I ran 1,308 miles
Dang, bro.
in 23.
Good
So-
for you, dude.
Yeah. So my goal for 24 is to cut back instead of running like 7 days a week. I mean, I take off, you know, probably 2 to 3 days a month. Is to cut back, maybe run like 4 days a week and then lift 3 days a week, but then fast 1 day and then get into like the cold plunging.
Oh, the cold plunging.
So,
Oh, I hate that.
so I normally take 2 showers a day, and usually the last minute is ice cold for every shower.
Okay.
Because I see some stuff online, like reels and stuff like that. And I'm like, man, I think there's some science behind this.
There is.
And I did. So we went to Mexico in July. I set the resort record for a cold plunge. At 12 minutes, they made me get out.
Really?
Set in a cold plunge for 12 minutes.
Some random place in Mexico. He's
Yeah.
got the record. He's
But
got
it's
it.
in July. It's like 100 out there.
It's like 112 outside.
But it's all about mental toughness,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Which Jack instilled in us as young kids,
Yeah.
right?
Dude, I see when I'm listening to you, it's like I'm literally talking to Jack right now. It's so funny.
Yeah. So
Dude.
That I think I contribute a lot to being able to lose the weight over the 2 years is kind of how he brought us up mentally. Like you always have to think you're the best. It's, you know, like in baseball, you have to think you're the best player walking into the batter's box. It's you and the pitcher. Either he's winning or I'm winning.
Oh, that's good.
Right?
Come on, give us some of those Jack one-liners. Come on, let's go.
Dadgummit.
Yeah, you knucklehead. That's what he always tells me every time he says, "You knucklehead."
I gave up a sack against Rochester my senior year. That was bad.
What did he say to you?
Oh, you don't want to know.
Just beep. We got a beeper. We got a beeper.
We do?
Yeah, it's on there somewhere. It's one of them buttons.
Yeah, it was a couple bad words
Yeah.
pertaining to my weight.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was.
Stuck with you.
Yeah,
Did it hurt?
yeah. But you know what? I gave up a sack.
Yeah.
Can't happen.
Can't happen.
Can't happen.
So let's kind of go back a little bit because I know people who are going to watch the podcast they're going to relate to your story. I think more people can relate to your story than most because like a lot of people are just obese.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like culturally we're obese. It's because it's hard. It takes a lot of consistency, a lot of commitment, you know, especially when you're out of where you should be. Like 350 pounds, dude, it's super rare for somebody to get out of that place.
Yep.
You know what I mean? But like as somebody who's like our weight or whatever, we take advantage of things we can do. Like what couldn't you do at 350 pounds?
Tie my shoes.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, I saw something the other day. It's like you can always tell an extremely obese person if their shoes are tied on the inside of their shoes.
I'm looking at everybody's feet. look where Nick look where Nick got his shoes tied. They're all the side. Oh shoot.
So I mean, it's just there's everyday stuff when you're that obese, that out of shape that you just can't do.
Yeah.
Right. And it's just I always tell people, like I would have people message me, I'd post pictures and stuff on Twitter or Facebook and what's your story? What are you doing? I'm like, honestly, it comes down, you have to burn more calories than what you consume.
Yeah. You got to be in caloric deficit. I mean,
correct.
Every day.
There's no magic. There's no shakes. There's no pills. It literally comes down to you have to burn more calories than what you consume.
Yep.
However you can do it. You know, I found like low carb wraps. Some of the stuff I eat like during the hardcore diet, probably not the best for me. A lot of beef sticks, peanuts. Like I loved chips. So I would eat like French fried onions.
Yeah.
You know, you put in like green bean casserole. That's like my salt, snack.
I love those, by the way.
Peanuts, like I said, beef jerky, lunch meat, wraps with low carb, wraps, cheese, salads. I mean, it's like a whole different. And then what I found is anytime I cheated, I felt awful.
Yeah.
But I would cheat like once every 2 weeks. Kind of like a recycle your body. But I would feel terrible.
So do you eat out?
Yeah, I mean, we don't eat out like maybe once or twice a week now. I mean, I eat out when I travel, obviously.
Yeah.
But again, it's just like one of those, like if I'm in a hotel, I wake up, try to get my run in before I go.
Yeah.
Won't eat breakfast. May or may not eat lunch. I may stop at like a Chipotle and get a bowl.
Oh, that sounds
something
good.
like that.
I wish we had something like that around here, like a Chipotle.
Yeah.
That'd be really good. I was going to pull my calculator out here because I'm assuming it's around 3 miles if you ran 100 or 1,300, what was it?
1,308.
1,308 divided by 365. That's 3.58 miles every single day for 365 days. Average is what it is. It's an average.
I think I ran like just over 300. No, it was like 330. Because my average per run was just over 4 miles.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. So
that's crazy.
But I mean, it's one of those, like there's days when I did not want to run.
Yeah.
You just got to do it. Like my body's kind of beat up from football.
Sure.
And that's a whole nother story of, but you just got to go. You just got to do it. Like, so in our basement, we've got a treadmill, TV, so it's Netflix. Today I started watching like the Hard Knocks version of Michigan football from a couple years ago.
Okay.
I've watched like all the Last Chance U documentaries, a lot of like war documentaries, football. I mean, just anything that I'm interested in, just get it on the TV and I'll just run.
Yeah, just to get it over with. Yeah. Running for me personally has been, of course, like I love Jesus, all of that conversation, but like running for me literally changed my life because of what it did for me mentally.
Yep.
I'm a super stressed out guy. I don't handle stress well. For some reason, I don't know if it's the way I'm wired, but mentally, well, if I get a load and I shut down. I get super moody, emotional. Like I'm just wah, wah, wah. So, but running for me, it kind of cured that. It took it away from me. So now running, and I've been doing it for now almost 3 years, but like running early in the morning, we run at 5 a.m. most days, but it literally changed my life. It was the hardest thing because I'm not a runner, right? And I started by running 30 seconds at a time, and then it went further and further and further and further. And now, like, I mean, we're running quite a bit, but it was hard. I remember the first run. It was dark. It was cold, you know. And I'm like, I can't do this crap.
I thought the same thing. I hated running.
I hate it. And even to this day, I really don't like it. But I know what it does for me mentally is worth more than the pain that I go through.
Yeah. So the job that I'm in right now with Marucci, the baseball stuff, I've been doing it for 2 years. Previous to that, I worked for a place out of Fort Wayne for 6.5 years. And it was in the same industry, kind of a different structure, different concept, but same industry.
Yeah.
And I was so stressed, the same thing. Like I had to go to therapy because I was so stressed. But then it's like, okay, now my stress release is running. Where it's like I can put my phone away, I can put on something on the TV and just run.
Yeah.
And there would be times where I would get to like the last half mile and I'm just like, like, let's go. Like, and my wife like walks downstairs. She's like, what's wrong? I'm like, nothing. I got to finish this run.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was, I mean, hard to get started, but now it's like an everyday thing.
Yeah.
Almost.
Dude, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's just like it just happened like that. I mean, it was just like a moment mentally, and you're
it was just like I should start working out, and then
it caught fire.
Yeah, so when I weighed in at like 319.
Okay,
that was like April 21st or something of 2019. And then in May of 21, I got down to 218, and I cried like a baby.
I bet, man.
When I hit that, because I probably haven't weighed 218 since like middle school. I remember, so with the youth football program here, you know, like the 5th grade has an all-star team, 6th grade has an all-star team, you weigh in.
Yeah.
I think in 6th grade, I was like 177.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I will say, though, I kind of dominated.
Did you?
I did.
I heard you were quite the football player.
Yeah. I mean, I was better then because I was bigger and more physical than most people. I mean, I used to make kids cry like every game.
Yeah.
It's part of it, you know.
Before we segue into like the whole football career stuff, were you heavy when you were a dad? Like when you had your kids, were you?
Yeah, I was. That was before, like they were born way before I started running.
Okay, so what was the experience like for you being in like a super overweight dad?
And back to the football thing where, you know, I had back issues, that kind of stuff. But a lot of that goes away with my weight loss. So like I wasn't able to like lay around and like roll around and wrestle with them when they were like little kids because like I'm just too big.
Yeah.
You know?
I get it. What about your marriage?
Got 900 times better with the weight loss, the lack of stress. And then obviously with a job change also, it's like, I mean, there was probably times my wife hated me because of stress and how like snappy I would get, you know, because you're stressed out all the time.
Yeah. I guess, I mean, I really want to get into the gritty the part of that, especially because culturally there's a lot of pressure on women to not be heavy. There's some pressure on men too, not as much on women, I don't think, but like how it impacts your marriage negatively to be super overweight. I mean, because we're visual people.
Sure.
You know, we see people before we know them, you know, so it's like, well, how does that affect relationships? How do you navigate around that as a married couple? Like, did you ever feel the pressure of like, I'm a piece of crap, or like,
oh yeah,
did you ever have that, you know?
Yep. A lot of self-image issues. And a lot of that's like, you know, I'm big. I don't want to take my shirt off. We're going on vacation. Like, well, I don't want to go there.
Yeah.
You know, hey, let's go for a walk. Well, I don't really want to. You know, I had feet problems. And I had plantar fasciitis for years just because I was so big. And my wife's a physical therapist, and also an athletic trainer. So she's like, here, you need to do this. You need to get better shoes, like some things. And like all of a sudden that goes away.
Yeah.
I'm running. I'm, you know, all this kind of stuff. And it's like everything just kind of falls into place.
Yeah.
But a lot of that's because I had to work my butt off to get there. Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. I mean, weight, self-image, all that stuff affects marriage, relationships, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, because as a big person, like you probably know, you walk in somewhere, like there's probably jokes. You see it, you don't see it, you maybe hear it, and it's like, well, I don't want to go there. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. But now it's just like, whatever, let's go. You know?
Sure. Dude, that's congratulations, man.
Thank you.
That's a big deal. That's a
Yeah.
really big deal.
It was rough. I mean, like I said, I got to that 218, I cried like a baby. Because it's, it's one of those, like when my brother and I were going through rehab together with our knee, you got somebody to lean on that's going through the exact same thing.
Yep.
Playing football, you got 120 other guys going through the same kind of battle.
Yeah.
But this is all on your own. And there's nobody else that you can point your finger at other than yourself.
Wow.
Like
own it.
Yeah.
Own it.
And it's all up to me. Like if I'm going to get this done, I can't blame anybody else. This is on me.
Exactly. And I think that's one of the things I was kind of sharing on social media one time was like, you have to own where you're at.
Correct.
Freaking own it.
Yep.
Like quit trying to pretend like it's not as bad as it really is in relationships, the way your health looks. Like stop pretending.
Right.
Accept it now. Make a goal and move forward.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And even if the first goal is just, if it's losing 2 pounds, go get it.
Go get it.
Right. Then make another one.
Yeah.
Then make another one.
Yeah.
Right.
We're really bad about like making goals that are unattainable, So like, that's brilliant, right? Make a goal, even if it's like a pound, start there.
Right.
If it's relationships, hey, I'm going to do this for my spouse today. One small goal and then just keep it's compounding, compound. That's brilliant.
Yep. And I mean, it was like the last couple of days before I got to that 218, I ate like 5 meals in 3 days. That was it. Cause I'm like, I'm going to freaking get there.
Wow.
And one meal would be like a handful of carrots. But I got to get there. And there's days, and if you're trying to low carb and work out, like awful. Like you have no energy.
No energy.
I mean, it was bad. But then it's like, I got to freaking finish.
Yeah.
I got to finish it.
He's got that dog in him, baby. He got that dog in him. Daggone. I love it. You can tell he got some jack in him, doesn't he?
Yeah, it's
smokes.
Yeah. Coaching sports, so I coach a couple youth sports with my kids. And it's a little. I mean, I have a little Jack in me when it comes to, coaching and stuff like that. Jack's an OBS kind of guy.
Yeah, which I so appreciate about him.
Yep.
Maybe not if I was in his youth program or something. But
I did. Unfortunately, I did make a kid cry after a game.
Cory.
I made him run because we were going through the handshake line after a soccer game, and he didn't put his hand out to shake the other team's hand.
Oh, that's a no-no.
Not gonna tolerate it.
That's a no-no.
There's certain things you got to do.
Yeah,
and that's one of them. You got to respect your opponent, respect everybody.
Yeah,
because you never know when that person may come back into your journey.
Yeah,
So when I was in high school, played baseball. Then when I got out, moved back home, I was helping Jack coach baseball, and we were playing at Southwood, the JV baseball team. The guy that was the JV baseball coach at Southwood was actually the varsity coach when I was in high school. Okay. So we go up to the plate, to change lineups, and he's like, Cory Rupley. He's like, how are you? I'm like, I'm good. It's good to see you. And he's like, man, you used to wear our ass out.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I tried. He's like, yeah, you did.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's a guy that I hadn't seen in 8 years.
Yep.
And that's his first thought.
Yep. That's crazy.
So and that's one thing you always try to explain to people, like, you may not like somebody, you need to respect them.
Yeah.
And at least get along with them, because you never know when your journey may come back in with theirs.
Go ahead, preach a little bit. Yeah,
you never know.
You never know.
Never know.
That's good stuff. Dude, you're speaking a lot of truth today, man. A lot of wisdom coming from you today.
Yeah, it's it's good.
So football.
Yeah. So I went to Anderson.
I heard you were a football star.
I wasn't a star.
You're amazing. You're gifted.
I was average.
What position did you play?
What years? Junior high, I was a quarterback.
You were?
I was a quarterback in junior high.
How many yards did you throw for?
It was over 1,000 both years.
Oh, I bet.
I was.
Like, who knows their junior high football stats?
I don't know. He's a Rupley. Of course he knows. Dad's up there keeping track.
Yeah.
Threw for 1,900 yards my fifth grade year and 47 touchdowns.
No, I didn't throw for that many.
Okay.
But yeah, I threw for over 1,000 yards both years. And then obviously in youth football, I was a lineman, weight limit thing, played quarterback for 2 years. Then as a freshman in high school, had to give up the dream, went back to the offensive line. That's where.
O-line, that's where you stayed in. Huh?
Yep.
Nice.
All 4 years there, 4 years at Anderson.
Did you get like a scholarship to play there?
No, so Anderson Division III, so they don't give athletic scholarships. Okay. So I will say they find ways to get you academic money.
Sure. You got blue eyes, or you don't have blue eyes, but you eye color, hair color, scholarships.
Yeah, they find out ways to get you money.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it was awesome. I wouldn't trade that experience for anything. You learn so much about yourself. You know, when you move away from home and you don't know anybody, it's a whole different experience. Like high school and college sports are night and day different.
Yeah.
You know, when you have 2 days in high school, it's like 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. You get a practice, you have a 2-hour break, another practice. When you go to college, your 2-day schedule is 6:30 a.m. to 11 p.m. And like every segment is broken down. This is what you got: treatment, you got film, you got practice, you got lunch, you got practice at 3, you got film. I mean, it's crazy.
I think Braxton Ream was sharing that too. Braxton, he plays somewhere. He was like,
he plays at Taylor. So Anderson and Taylor used to be huge rivals.
He just talks about that level of it's just so different. You know,
and there's so much more that goes into studying the game with whether it's offenses, defenses, special teams. You know, because in high school, most better players play both ways. You get 1 day of offense, 1 day of defense. Where there, nobody goes both ways. And if you do, like, you're a freak.
Like Travis Hunter for Colorado.
Right. Like, that's rare.
Yeah.
So then you have like 3 prep days of just offense. And, you know, you're running your own plays against, sometimes it's a starting defense, sometimes it could be a scout team defense.
Yes.
And then sometimes coaches say, hey, whoever wins this series, you don't have to run at the end of practice. So we always, like, one thing would be 3rd down Thursdays.
Yeah.
Starting offense, starting defense. We're starting at 3rd and 10. If we get more than 5 first downs, we don't have to run.
Yeah.
It was war.
Dang.
I mean, there were fights almost every day.
Yeah.
Especially between like O-line and D-line.
Sure.
So we had a series every day for 15 minutes called Inside Run. We called it Inside Suicide. You're starting offensive line, quarterback, running backs. Defensive line, linebackers. Every play is a run play.
Sure.
And they know it.
They know it, yeah.
And it's just brutal.
Yeah.
And then we would have like PRPP, so pass rush, pass protection. So it's like one-on-one against a D lineman where it's just set, go, like pass rush. You're trying to stop them. No holds barred.
Yeah.
Face mat. I mean, just
getting after it.
And every single segment is filmed. So then, like, for instance, during 2 days, like every part of practice is filmed in the morning. So then in your afternoon meeting, you're watching the morning's practice.
Yeah.
And it's like 25 linemen in a room, video camera, and it's like, that's pathetic. Like, coaches are calling you out in front of everybody. They don't care because their job's to win.
Yeah, absolutely.
They don't win, they're fired.
Yep.
And it's been really cool. So some of the coaches that I played for 20 years ago are in the NFL. Some of them are at major colleges, and some of them don't coach anymore.
Sure.
So it's cool to see, you know, how players' lives transition, how coaches' lives transition.
Yeah.
So
there's some big news in the coaching world right now too, right?
Yeah. Saban.
Yeah, he retired.
Belichick's out.
Yep.
Yeah,
and then who was the Seahawks coach?
Pete Carroll's out.
Yeah, he's.
But he's going to stay on as an advisor or something like
Yeah.
that.
It's just crazy. A lot of changes in the coaching
Vrabel's
world.
out.
Yeah.
A lot of changes going on. So, but like in relationship, I think there's a lot of similarities from, you know, losing all this weight, football. Like, do you think football taught you more about yourself, or do you think losing the weight taught you more about yourself?
I think growing up, how we were raised, football got me to be able to lose the weight. Just because it's such, you know, like with the way how our dad raised us about mental toughness, how you learn how to be mentally tough in football, then it transitions over. It's like, okay, like I got to block out everything else.
Yeah.
The fast food, the sugary drinks, whatever, because I got to lose weight.
Yeah.
I got to block everything else out.
Yeah.
You know?
That's good.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, because it's, you know, playing college football is some of the stuff you learn, like play calls, blocking schemes, all this kind of stuff. You got to, so every week we would get like the 2 deep for the other team that we're getting ready to play. So you're figuring out, okay, this guy's 6'2", 285. What are his tendencies? If they line up like this, what are they going to do?
Yeah.
But then you can figure out, like, this is a trick of the trade. If a D lineman's in front of you and his knuckles are white, he's rushing.
I learned this on the Invincible, by the way.
Yep.
It's on there.
So then if their weight is light on their hand, you know they're going to do some kind of stunt.
Yeah.
Right?
So that's actually true.
Yeah.
Okay. I just remember. I have all these things I remember about that movie. I like it. The Invincible movie.
It's very cool. So it's fun to watch college football because I have a better understanding than the NFL.
Yeah.
Just because it's like a lot of the stuff is the same. You know,
Sure.
Division III, I'm 6', 270. Guys playing at Ball State are 6'5" and 315 and way better athletes.
Yeah.
You know, but you're running the same stuff.
You're right, yeah.
You're just not as good.
Different caliber of athletes.
Yep.
But like, okay, so you said, you know, football kind of instilled that value or that mentality. What about like people who don't, man, they're not athletes. They don't have the story. They don't have the grit. Like, where do people start though if they want to lose weight? You know,
One step at a time.
how? What's the step? What's the number one step to losing weight for people,
You got to find
according to you?
some kind of like what motivates you.
Like, find out your why. Why?
Yeah.
Why?
Find out your why. Yep. Find out your why.
Why? And for me, why do I run? It's because of my mental health. That's the only reason. But that why is what keeps me going.
Yep. And everybody's why is different.
Sure, absolutely.
You know, everybody's why is different. And it could be different day to day.
Yeah,
You know, like maybe today I want to do this for this reason.
yeah,
You know, I want to beat yesterday's time when I ran 2 miles or whatever it was.
yeah.
Right?
yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Because I think, you know, my why is the reason the whole mental thing for me is like, you know, I grew up like mental health isn't real, like, you know, but I was just an ass. Like I was a really I had to figure I was like a really crappy husband to my wife, who we're still married, by the way.
Good.
But almost 20 years. It'll be 20 years this year. Let's go. I'm waiting. And then like just with my kids, very, very short with them. And I knew it. Like I know I was cracked. Like, you know, if you're overweight, like, you know, if you have a bad attitude, like, you know this. No one needs to tell you. So I was like, I've got to do something. I've got to do something myself. So I was like, I'll try running. I saw something about it. Let's try it. And then it just worked. It worked. Of course, a lot of prayer too for me, you know, but you got to find your why.
Yeah.
My family is more important. So like I value those relationships. So that's why I run.
Yeah.
I value my marriage. That's why I do it, you know? So
Yeah. And it's, like you said, it's different for everybody.
yeah.
Could be different day to day. Maybe I'm beat this time from yesterday or whatever. You know, you see something on TV like, you know,
Yeah.
whether it's a show that motivates you. I mean, anything.
Yeah.
You know, you just got to find
motivation in
find
anything,
something.
whatever it looks like.
find something.
Wow. We're going to do a new segment right now. This is new to the channel too. Are you ready? We're going to call it the Blitz.
Okay.
Nick Kopke's going to sit in this chair and he's going to fire away with his questions
Okay.
for you. How's that sound? Sound good? Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Let's go.
You got a whole list of questions.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Nick Kopke.
He just said, put your hands together.
Nice.
Oh, this should be interesting.
What's up, Rube?
What up, buddy?
Last time I saw you, we were probably like fist deep in like 38 dozen cookies.
Mom's cookies.
Yeah, I don't know. I only ever got to hear about your mom's cookies. They never made it to my house.
Yeah, because Jared would probably get a bag for the way home and then
Yeah.
eat them before you got home.
Yeah.
Part of it.
So I wasn't going to come today, and he said, you know, Cory Rupley is going to be here. It's like, well, I got to show up for this one.
Yeah.
They just don't know what to do with me here.
You got to get up, dress up, show up, right? But you didn't dress up. That's okay.
Walk with a limp,
Yeah.
act like a...
No, he's pretty dressed up today.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not covered in.
So
Yeah.
Cory and my brother played at Anderson. Obviously
Yes.
went to high school together. You graduated 99 from Manchester? 2000.
Yes.
Jared was 01.
Yep. Jared and Clint were 01. So, yeah, we all played together at Anderson. Yeah.
Okay.
It was awesome.
I have a lot of good memories going down there, tailgating and stuff out there. And
Yeah.
Jared would always bring all the famous, whatever the cool sayings were.
Oh, yeah.
Down there. Like Jared would bring them home and I could take them into the high school. And, Yeah, a lot of good memories there. They weren't always. It was always good, good sayings. But all right, I do write questions when I sit back here. Are you high school fat?
High school fat?
Yeah,
Pretty hot and tempting. PHAT.
absolutely.
Fat.
Like no, what did you weigh in high school?
I was like 250-ish.
Okay, so you are so you would be high school fat. So you weigh what you did in high school.
I'm less.
Less.
Yeah.
So you're less than high school
I'm
fat.
less
That's
than
awesome.
high
Good
school,
for you, man.
yes.
I was not expecting to ask these questions on air, so we're going for it. Did you have a rock bottom?
Not really. Like a lot of people have asked, like, was it a health scare? Like, what made you decide to lose weight? I mean, my blood pressure was a little high, but it wasn't like anything out of control. So no, I never really had like a rock bottom or anything like that.
Yeah.
I just decided one day, like, hey, I should probably work out. And
Yeah. Are you? Tyler's like, why do you eat? You're like, man, I just like to eat.
yeah, I mean, I think any big person does.
And I'm kind of the same way. Like, man, like, and I struggle. I struggle with food. Like, I'll be the first to admit, portions is big. Like, I'll eat healthy foods, but for me, portions is the absolute worst. Like, I cannot get that stuff under control. And it's like, man, Nick, what's your problem? It's like, I just like to eat.
Right.
Like, it's not. I would like to say it's stress related, but I don't think it is.
Yeah, I mean, I could easily, if my wife or my mom or whoever makes cookies, I could easily sit and eat 6 or 7 of them and not even think about it.
Yeah. And, my brother Jared, like we have kind of inherited a lot of the same tendencies. Like when we're together, like over Christmas, it's a show.
Oh,
An absolute disaster.
Yep.
I lost 50 pounds last year, and I'm not quite back to where I was at the beginning of the year, but I probably gained 20, 30 of those pounds in December. And 10 of those was probably at mom and dad's house on Christmas. So when me and Jared get together, it's full feed. It's a hog trough,
Oh, it's 10,000 calories a day.
Maybe one of these days we can go ham on a salad bar instead of biscuits and gravy.
Yeah.
But
Ponderosa still open?
It's not.
It's not. Okay.
It's called the fried egg now.
Okay.
So you said the key, is less calories.
Yep.
Take in less than you burn. So do you think that's true even on a low carb diet?
I do.
Okay.
I mean, because either way, you have to, whatever it is you eat, you have to burn more calories.
Okay.
I think.
So you don't think like the whole ketosis, low carb thing, like it doesn't matter. X calories in, X calories out. Bottom line.
I think so.
Okay. So are you kind of low carb guy?
I am.
Okay.
Because you can still eat a lot of things and eat a lot of it to feel full.
Yeah.
But just certain things,
So when you do need some carbs, you get some rice. I mean, you're running a lot. So where are you getting your carbs if you're needing some?
Very little.
Okay.
I mean, like I already ran today.
Okay.
And I haven't eaten.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm currently started first year, kind of went back on the low carb thing, and it takes like weeks.
Oh yeah.
To really get there. Like how long did it take for you? Like when you started low carb, how long did it take before you actually felt good?
Probably a couple weeks. And now that I am pretty consistent, like I've started back again first of the year, I feel a lot better when I'm on the low carb.
Yeah.
Just overall, like like Christmas, New Year's, Thanksgiving, when you're just kind of eating whatever, I don't feel good.
Oh,
I mean, the food is good. Don't get me wrong, but you eat too much, you eat a lot of just junk. And like, I don't feel good. Like I feel so much better on a low carb diet.
Yeah. And there's just less options. Like it's black and white.
Correct.
I'm eating low carb, bread's out, pasta's out. Like things have to be black and white for me.
Right.
I went down the road of pork rinds.
Yep. You used to smash pork rinds back in the day, boy.
Like my mouth hurts. Okay. So when your mouth starts to hurt, quit eating.
Yep. Love me some pork rinds. Haven't had any for a while, but hey, they're low carb.
Oh man, I am getting I'm getting out of my questions, but Cory, why don't you leave us with this? There's people like me watching. I'm going to struggle with eating and my weight probably till I leave this earth. So what do you have to say to the people like me and you out there that are struggling with food, weight, or just anything?
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of it is like we talked about. Find your why. What motivates you? What's kind of your end goal in whatever you want to accomplish, and one day at a time, right? I always tell people one day at a time, one step at a time. You never know where you can get, right? If you think about it like that. You know, I lose 100 pounds in a year, all based on diet and exercise. There's no way to cheat it. You have to just go after it, right? It's going to suck. It hurts. It's hard. It's by far the hardest thing I ever did. You know, between playing football, you know, doing rehab on my knee, anything. That was the hardest thing.
How do you feel physically?
I feel
Like your joints?
freaking awesome.
Good.
Like
Good for you.
when I was heavier, my back hurt all the time. So when I tore my ACL, it was my left knee. So I developed a habit of standing on my right leg.
Yeah.
My right hip does not hurt anymore. My feet feel better because I found the shoes that I love. I mean, my shoulders still bother me a little bit, but
What would you say to somebody that that maybe can't run because you know, of a bad hip or bad knee or something?
there's biking.
Yeah. I like what you said about being on the recumbent.
Right.
You know, which I'm not, you know, surely everybody could recumbent, right? And that's probably how you lost your first 50 pounds or
Right.
whatever. You
And
know?
I could probably go back and look at notes on my phone and think like, okay, when did I stop biking? When did I start running? What was my weight? But yeah, I mean, you got recumbent biking, you got the row machine. There's all kinds of.
Would you say food is and just number one on top? Like before we start even talking exercise, talk food, like food, it starts there, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's all
Like
about-
maybe like an 80-20 or 70-30. I don't know what it is, but
I would
it's
say
probably pretty high, right?
I would say it's probably every bit of
Yeah.
that 80-20,
Yeah.
70-30. It's a lot of it's just the food you bring in.
Sure,
And you know, I mean,
sure.
if somebody's like really, really obese, you know, I mean, starting with food is the key. I mean, they could probably lose weight if they just change a diet,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, physically, I feel really good. Side note, I am a brain donor. You guys know that?
In case anybody needs one.
What's that mean?
So I'm, you know, obviously playing football. I did a lot of
CTE.
concussion research,
research.
CTE.
Yeah.
So I carry a donor card that I'm a brain donor. So whenever I die,
thank you for
they're
that.
going to dissect my brain.
Thank you for your donation.
Sweet.
Hopefully it's not anytime soon, but yeah. So yeah, it's there's a Concussion Legacy Foundation. So I did some research. So they have all kinds of test subjects, like people that played high school football, college football, pros, other sports.
So what you're telling me is that the lights are on, but not everybody's home.
Sometimes.
Man, this has been fun. Yeah, I appreciate or not appreciate Tyler introduce a new segment, but you know, let's roll with it. I'm comfortable with you. I know you.
Oh, we go way back.
I've enjoyed you over the years, Cory. I'm glad you're here at the Walnut Street Podcast Studios, corporate world headquarters. This is good. I don't.
Mr. Worldwide. Huh?
Yeah, I don't know where to go from here. I've never signed off. What? I don't know what to do next.
Thanks for joining. See you next time.